This is the Gamer CJ podcast on Podbean and Spotify. Um, this is a podcast that I've been wanting to record since the last time I recorded. Actually, the last time I recorded was in May. So this is like one of the first times in a while I wanted to actually record something. This is my top 5 favorite Swedish heavy metal albums. I'm not talking about any of the black metal. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. This is only strictly 80s. There's some albums that I have listened to before, the ones that I absolutely adore. Some that there are some of these albums here that I just I recently listened to before that I absolutely love. Um, I'm a big fan of also Belgian metal. There's a playlist I have on my Spotify, and it's called Favorite Classic Finnish, Dutch, Swedish, and Belgium heavy metal bands. The shirt I'm actually wearing is called Scavenger Battlefield. It's one of my favorite. This album is amazing, start to finish. It's an amazing record. Um, I will be getting to those in the future. Just, just sort of, just European metal bands. Bands from like that sort of like realm. So yeah, so that's all well and good. Um, all right, we're gonna get into top five. Um, and most of these bands too are gonna have more than one album. I was gonna do that, and then I was like, nah, I got to do more than one. Uh, we're gonna do for number five, 220 Volts first album, right? I had a lot of thought into this. I enjoy them. They're not my favorite band. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. No, sorry. Hold on. Not 220 Volt. Uh, I'm gonna do Heavy Loads, uh, Death or Glory from 1982. I think that um, there's another album by them that's better. I don't know. It's too cheesy for me, not in a bad way. It's just, it's a good album, but there are so many different Swedish metal bands. I mean, everybody who loves classic metal is like, oh, Death or Glory is amazing. I don't know. I mean, you have Heavy Metal Angels, Fight for Your Right, Something New, Bleeding Streets, Guitar is My Sword, Guitar is My Sword. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's what you would expect from something like that. You have Still There's Time, Traveler, Little Lies, Daybreak Ecstasy, and then, of course, some bonus tracks. Yeah, I mean, look, it's number five. Because there are so many other Swedish, first wave Swedish metal bands that I absolutely love more. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough to say. Number four, we're gonna go with Overdrive, um, Metal Attack. It is an EP. It's not necessarily an album. People always say that their Sword and Axes is one of their albums. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Sword and Axes because I listened to that album and then there are some songs that are very slow and just, you know what I mean, like the first five tracks on Swords and Axes are good, and then there's some slow and ballads. I'm like, but like it's not even like a classic metal ballad, like um you know, it's not necessarily a ballad, but a slow song. So the reason I'm picking Metal Attack, I don't even know. Metal Attack, is that an EP? I don't really know. I mean, but Back on the Hunt, Heart of Stone, Breaking Out, Confused, The Battle, Metal Attack, you know, or sorry, The Battle, Doom Watcher, Sweet Fear, Freelance, and then like you have songs like Time Will Tell and everything. Look, I mean, it's a good record. Um, and yeah, I mean, I enjoy it from time to time. But now we're getting into number three. This was a tough choice. Tough choice. Number three. I'm just going to say this really quick. Um, but uh, these were really hard. When I was thinking about this earlier, I was like, oh shoot. Um, because these three albums I listen to the most as far as Swedish heavy metal. You know, there's obviously like one of these, number one, everybody loves. Number two and number three. But then there's another album I like. So let me get this out of the way. Um, I'm gonna do a combined thing. Uh, Mindless Sinners EP and A Master of Evil and Turn on the Power. They're combined. Okay? Basically, you have, well, I mean, not on Spotify, but I think you could get them released together. You know, you have Broken Freedom, you know, Broken Freedom. That's my favorite song on the album. You have Key of Fortune, Master of Evil, Screaming for Mercy, Mindless Sinner, which is a demo, Higher and Higher, demo, we all go back, demo, and Heavy Metal Will Never Die, demo, City Games, demo. And then you have the classic Turn on the Power by Mindless Sinner. It's weird because I know I stopped listening to a lot of this stuff, and then all of a sudden I looked on Spotify. Oh, it's all there. So you know, I listened to it again. Once we get to more Dutch steel and more like the stuff from Finland. I mean, there's only one band from Finland. They're also Swedish too, but I'm going to put them in the Finnish like category. You know, and I'm going to do top 20 when I do that, because there's some albums like sort of like mainland Europe, for instance, when it comes to the skin, like the Dutch, the Finnish, you know, you have all these different stuff. You know, Belgium. I love Belgian metal. Yeah, I mean, you know, I could make a whole playlist of just those bands, and you know, it's going to be good. That's number two. That's number three. Mindless Sinner. Look, they're a good band, but I mean, I had to. I had to do it. I'm gonna get in an honorable mention because I kind of ran out of space for this one. Um, it's Visions of the Past by Axe Witch. I go on Metal Archives, and there's always these reviews that are like, "Well, that's number. So how is that 76?" I mean, it's energetic, high energetic metal. All of the early Axe Witch is good. You know, you have the Metal Rebel. You have Pray for Metal. I love that one. You have you have Lord of the Flies, amazing album. But Visions of the Past is my favorite. You know, Visions of the Past. You got visions of the past. Visions. You know, it's high energy metal that I love. I love that stuff. I love metal that's like high energy and just, you know, it just has that sort of feel to it. You know, yeah, okay, songs like Give 'Em Hell, Tonight, Tonight, dun, 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 you know, Hot Lady, good one. You have Stand Up, Running for the Storm, Born in Hell, Time to Live, and An Evil Circle. Pretty much these are albums that when I'm home, I just like putting them on and just like relaxing to them. Or when I'm at Green Vision, I'm at work, or any place where I can like work and listen to my music, I usually put these on, or I put on like a podcast. But anyway, this is what I've been into lately. As far as Axe Witch, a really good YouTuber named Ruthless Metal. He's from Sweden, so he puts out a lot of good metal stuff. But actually, I was into it before I saw him. Because obviously, before I had Spotify and everything, how I would discover albums was YouTube. So who knows? Maybe I won't be into all these obscure stuff. Maybe, who knows? Whatever. It's 2024, and I'm in the stuff that came out in like the 80s. So whatever. I mean, maybe my dad told me once. He's like, "Oh, you would probably be in the stuff from the 60s." I mean, probably. I would be in the more probably 50s and 60s, like obscure stuff. So now we're gonna get into number 2. This band is called Proud. Fire Breaks the Dawn. So good. I love it. I love this album so much. I'm glad it's on Spotify, because if it wasn't on Spotify, I would have to go through my phone. Oh yeah, by the way, one more honorable mention. I'm sorry about that. One more honorable mention. Heavy Load. Stronger Than Evil. Not my favorite. I do listen to a bunch. That's what I should have said. Yeah, I listened to that one. That's another honorable mention. Once I get to a bigger list, because I do want to make like a bigger list of like top 10 Swedish bands, Finnish bands. I'm probably going to make it like a top 20. Even though I have my little favorites, I don't, I'm not going to like, I'm not going to, completely go up there and go, oh, I'm going to include all those. I easily would have. I just wanted to include Metal Attack. I've been listening to the album a lot, so yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to it. Yeah. So Sword and Evil is up there. Because Death of Glory is number 5, but I like Heavy Loads. I think it's the mini LP from like 1981. Is that Metal Yeah, that's Metal Conquest, I think. No, Conquest and Strong and Evil. So yeah, those Heavy Load albums. I should have just included Heavy Load in a separate category. The reason I put it number 5 is that is my favorite. I should have said sorry, but those albums, I only have a top 5. I don't want to include everything. Yeah, I mean, it's just, look, Heavy Load's a classic metal band from Sweden, so we'll see. So, I was kind of enthralled with this one, but you know what? I actually changed it on the fly. Gotham City is number 2, The Unknown. This is probably one of my favorite Swedish metal albums of all time. You have the classic heavy metal approach. Anders, the lead singer, actually played in a band called Nocturnal Rites, a Swedish power metal band. But it's not like, I don't mind power metal, but it's not necessarily the power metal I like. If I listen to power metal, it's more like Halloween or some Blind Guardian. Even though Blind Guardian isn't really like, it's weird with that kind of power metal stuff. Like, I don't mind listening to like Rhapsody of Fire, but when I heard Nocturnal Rites, I'm like, okay, this is okay, but so if you listen to it and you say, oh, that vocalist sounds the same, it's because it's Anders from the first couple Nocturnal Rites albums. Swords and chains, beast will burn. See how it flies. Got a ravage in the town tonight. And then going insane. I'm going insane. That's right. Today. It's weird how so many like these bands have one guitarist. Like they sound like they have two. Grim Reaper's the same way. Like I guess these guitarists are so melodic, it sounds like they have two. I swear to God. I love bands that have only one guitarist, but it sounds like they have two. I'll tell you what, that's the best. You have Battle Blade. Learn from your leaders is a good one. It's my favorite song on the album. Learn from your leaders. Beside you. That one, and then you have Borderline. Borderline. Borderline, that's an amazing song. And of course, you have the instrumental, The Unknown. It's one of the few sort of Scandinavian metal bands I have a shirt of, and I just keep going back to it. There's some times where I just don't listen to it, and then there are times where, yeah, I do listen to it. It's a good album. I love it so much. It's such an amazing record. But this next album, I like a little bit more. It's called Proud. Fire Breaks the Dawn. It's a little bit more. It's weird because it's a little bit more up there. If you can even call it that, it's very Iron Maiden-esque, but it's necessary. It has that sort of power metal. I don't know if I would even call this power metal. It's more like heavy power. It's not necessarily like heavy load power metal, but it's more. I guess Gotham City. It's like a step above. It has its sort of Axe Witch quality because with Axe Witch, a lot of the songs have a lot of energy. This album has a lot of energy. It's up there. For instance, like the band that I really love, the shirt that I'm wearing right now is called. They're called Scavenger Battlefields, right? Scavenger has this sort of energy about them. There's some songs that are just traditional heavy metal, and then there are songs that are more energetic. And I think with most classic heavy metal bands, that's normal, I think. But with Proud, they're melodic, but they're kind of a step up. And, I listened to it one day, and I wasn't even sure if it was Swedish. So obviously I was able to find, it's on Spotify. So now it's on my Spotify playlist that I made. Favorite classic Finnish, I didn't even spell it right, but most of my workout playlists I usually listen to like Picture. Picture is one of my favorite European metal bands. I'll be honest with you. It's not necessary. So, if you guys have ever listened to, how you say, have you guys ever listened to, Heavy Metal Ears by Picture? Heavy Metal Ears, by the way, same thing as Gotham City. One guitarist kicks ass, but it's the same thing. High energy metal. Anyway, but with Proud, I don't know. There's something about it. It sounds proto power metal to me. Came out in '84. Another great album that came out in '84. There's so many good albums that came out in '84. Same with Gotham City. You have like Street Fighter, Echoes from the Past. I like United World, Feel the Power. You have No Losers, Fire Breaks the Dawn. I just love when you can tell a band is badass when they follow that gallop, like the Gallup, but it's weird because um, I love certain Iron Maiden songs for that, but you know, I'm not necessarily a big Iron Maiden fan. Look, I love Maiden. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. I don't listen to. I don't like necessarily listening to. No. Okay. 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 Yeah. So basically, this is nearing the end of the list. So yeah. Sorry. Basically, yeah. This is towards the end. So yeah. I mean, look, it's a good album. I love it, and I hope you guys listen to Fire Breaks the Dawn by Proud. So that was my list. So I had to get out of the room. One of my coworkers was just making too much noise, and I think he was gonna bother me a little bit. All right, well listen, that was my list. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast. Bye.